for joining. We're excited to sort of share with this group of our, travel CEOs and anyone who catches this on the recording about our new established partnership with Threads Worldwide. So we have Andrea Jones from Threads on, as well as Angela. But Andrea is going to be the one walking us through sort of a background of Threads. But Kat and I met both of them at Wanderfest that we attended in New Orleans in March. So about a month ago, actually. And we just really felt like we had a sort of an aligned mission and shared goals in terms of empowering women around the world. And so we're doing that on our end through our, travel business and mentoring all of you. But then, Threads has a really big mission. And they're helping support artisan partners for fair trade in 8 different countries across the globe. So I'll let Andrea speak to it a little bit more, but we're super excited, and I'm going to drop this into the chat. But the information about our partnership went live on the Habitats by Cat website today, and we'll be sharing more about it on social media going forward, but wanted you all to be able to read more about the partnership and also be able to look at some of the Threads jewelry that is available if you're interested, which you can do right from our website. So Andrea, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Sam. I'm Andrea Jones, as Sam said, and I am a socialpreneur with Threads Worldwide, which basically just means that I, along with my co-workers, create expand the marketplace for women's jewelry, bags, and now home goods. Here in the United States. And the women are in 8 different countries. We have groups of women who hand make all of this beautiful, these beautiful pieces, and it's all fair trade. So we are really, our mission is to put money and resources into the hands of impact-driven women through the sale of the fair trade pieces. So that said, we've been around for about 10 years. Angela is one of the founders of the company. And since then we've grown, and we've expanded this impact in incredible ways. Prior to COVID, we were 90% in person, where we would bring the beautiful handmade pieces into your home, and people could be involved by being a host and earning free jewelry and shopping, and we would tell artisan stories. Now, thanks to COVID, I mean, if we can thank them for anything, it was to give us a really strong online medium. So now a big part of our business is selling this jewelry through online medium. So through social media, through something that we started a year ago, which is a text gathering, bring people together that way, and show jewelry, give style tips, and tell a little bit about our artisan partners. So for example, we'll just get into the fun stuff. One of our best sellers is a bracelet that I'm wearing. It's called the Mile bracelet. And it is made by women in Ethiopia, and all of the women have HIV. And in Ethiopia, if you have HIV, you're shunned from your village. And you're told if you go to this other area, it's called the Lake District, you'll be healed. But really, they just want the women out. And so some of them uproot their families. They move to this Lake District, and of course are not healed. And so this co-op is set up in that area, and it gives them not only a dignified way to work, but it gives them a community of people who really can be supportive, understanding of where they're coming from. And this beautiful, I like to call it the badass bracelet because it carries so much power behind it, is made of upcycled metal, including bullet shell casings that the farmers find in the fields. Unfortunately, there's still plenty of them, and they make something beautiful out of something tragic. So it just kind of gives you a feel for what we're about. We want women to feel, we want them to feel the power of the jewelry. We want them to express their unique style and their own power through wearing the jewelry. So do you have any questions so far?
Yeah, if anyone wants to speak up or if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box here, and I'm happy to kind of report out on anything that you're commenting on or any questions that you have.
Okay, yeah, great. So one of the reasons we were at Wanderfest is because we're looking to, part of our business is to put income in the hands of impact-driven women, not only with our artisan partners in the way that I just described with the women in Ethiopia, but right here in the US. And part of that program is to, once a year, we take our artisan partners, or we take our socialpreneurs like me to one of these countries to visit our artisan partners. And so that's something that next Thursday, we're headed to Guatemala for the week, and to meet our artisan partners like Santos and Marla and some of these women that I'll tell you a little bit more about. But I've met them both through video conference, and they are amazing women who are just paving the way and breaking boundaries for women in Guatemala. 3 years ago, I traveled with Threads to Bali, Indonesia, and I met a woman named Mrs. Karyawati, and then some other women in the co-op. But I learned so much about fair trade. I learned so much about what this work does for the indigenous people. And I saw Mrs. Karyawati's workshop in her home, met her daughter that she was able to adopt, she said, because of this fair trade work. Her older daughter, she put through nursing school because of this work. And it's not typical for girls to go to school at all, but let alone through university to become a nurse. So those are the kinds of trips that we take with impact-driven women. So I'm so excited to go to Guatemala on the 21st, but one of the reasons we are at Wanderfest is to attract women who love to travel. And one way to do that is by earning trips with us and also expanding our marketplace here in the US. So do you want to see some more jewelry and hear some more impactful stories behind the jewelry? Or is there any place that you would like to go from here, Samantha or Kat?
Go ahead, Kat.
You could share maybe 2 or 3 more pieces. I think that would be, I think the stories and the behind the scene feel of how the jewelry is made is so interesting. And then just as a comment, because we're all entrepreneurs that are on the call, it's crazy. When I think about my day-to-day struggle, I'm like complaining about losing connection on a Zoom call, or I have too many emails, or like my phone is absolutely blowing up. But then it puts your daily stresses into such perspective when you think about these women in the entrepreneurial journey that they're having in their lives, right? Because it's most likely very different than what we're experiencing here in the States. So I don't know if there's somewhere on the Threads website where there's like stories that we could also share with everyone after the call, because I actually think that's so impactful and so motivational too.
Yeah, yes. And as you look on our website, when you shop our jewelry, there's always a little something about the artisan partners. And then we as socialpreneurs, it's our job to convey these stories, right? So one way that we do that is through like this text gathering that I was telling you about. I'm going to share a link. I don't know, can you, maybe I'll just share it in the chat and they can click on it. Let me just go grab it real quick so that you can kind of see one way that we go about sharing our stories.
Yeah, that would be great. And if you put it in the chat, I'll pick it up and save it to share it out with everyone too.
Okay. Okay, so just having trouble finding my chat here. There we go. This will just give you an example, and know that these are designed for to look great on your phone because they are designed to be a text chat. So if you're on your computer, it's going to look a little bit different, but once you click on it and just scroll down, you'll see how we kind of communicate through one text, and it'll show you how our artisan partners in Vietnam use bullhorn to create beautiful pieces, which, you know, one factor of fair trade is sustainable, renewable resources. So they get the bullhorn from the stockyards, and they use it. It would otherwise be disposed of. So they use it to make beautiful jewelry. Are you seeing that link?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's really cool. It opens. So I see what you mean with it on a cell phone, but it still looks great on a computer. So thank you.
Yeah. And that's just like, that's one ping to someone on this text showcase. And then they just scroll through and see the story. They see the pieces. And all that's available to me on our training platform. I don't have to create any of it. I pretty much through my text gathering, all I have to do is do what I just did in that chat to a group of people who said yes to a text gathering. So it makes it really easy for our host. It makes it really easy for me because I'm not super creative or technical. And so yeah, all of that's available to us. And then the other thing that I really love is, you know, we have pictures of our artisan stories on our training platform for socialpreneurs like myself to communicate, and then the stories behind each picture or behind each artisan partner. I'm sorry for the background noise. Somebody just rang my doorbell.
I thought it was my dog for a minute, and I'm like, no, that's not her.
Stories is what's so cool for us because it's just nice to see something that's completely outside of your realm, and to have that level of like connection and understanding is really cool.
Yeah, the connection, the understanding, and it's what makes me feel like I'm not a salesperson. I'm more of a storyteller. That's what I do. I show jewelry and I tell the story behind the women, either through, like I just showed you, through a text showcase and the tools that are provided, or like this, you know, bring everybody together on a Zoom and tell the story this way. So, and I just realized the earrings you're wearing were made by Mrs. Karyawati out of Bali. Who I met personally when I was there. She makes our sterling silver pieces, and the craftsmanship is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, these are my new go-to, and they're like such a great talking point, which I love. I'm doing something good.
Yes. Well, and that's the other thing. I think women just feel good to be able to tell a story. So if somebody comments on my earrings, I don't say, oh, I got them at Target, right? Like there's so much impact behind these earrings. So for example, these are one of my favorites from our spring line. Sorry, there we go. And they're made by women in India. We have 2 co-ops in India. And one of them is made up of women who have left the sex trade. And I've learned so much about how important it is, not only for them to have a different source of work where it's dignified work, but also that they don't become a victim to the sex trade again, because for some of them, that's all they've known. And sadly, some of them were sold into the sex trade by their family who felt like they didn't have any other choice. And it's just the pattern of earning for your family in that way. And so what work like this not only gives them a dignified source of work, as I said, but also it gives them a new identity. So this particular group of women are some of the first metalsmithers in India who are women, which is coming from, metalsmithing is a man's trade in India. This group of women are some of the first women metalsmiths, and Moon, who leads this group of women, said that now they're no longer a sex trade survivor, but they're paving the way for other women to do trades like this.
Yeah.
And they're now the first women metalsmith, right? Instead of a sex trade survivor. So it just gives them this new sense of identity.
Wow.
So again, I say that I keep re-emphasizing not only a dignified sense of work, but this sustainable work solution that we're creating is so powerful just on its own. But the boundaries that are being broken, like those in these countries by women, just adds to the power of what we do.
Yeah. Wow, that's a really cool story, actually, that they're the first women to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And, going to Guatemala on the 21st, we did a special thing with them in January. We do it once a year, where we do a special give back. So on top of the work that we already do with them, we do a fundraiser that focuses specifically on scholarships for kids, sending them to school. And so a certain percentage of what we sell, we give back to Guatemala, specifically to fund scholarships. And the reason that's such a big deal is because many times, well, for one in four Guatemalans can't read or write. And they have the lowest literacy rate in all of Central America. And so again, trying to break this cycle, right, where you're sending kids to school rather than having them enter a job very early in life in order to support their family. And having women work does that alone. And then in January, our partnership does this extra scholarship program for them. So this last January, we raised 44 scholarships for the Wakami kids, which are the kids of the women who work with us in the co-ops there. 44 scholarships. And this year we did where people could donate a handmade backpack by women made. The women in Guatemala made them. People loved that idea. And so through us, they would buy a backpack, a handmade backpack, and we're filling it with school supplies and delivering it when we are there on the 21st. 824 backpacks are what we donated in January alone. So not only were we giving 824 purchases of backpacks to this group of women who would hand make them, but also they're going directly to their children for these scholarships. So, and to prepare them for school. So one thing that I love about my job is that our founders are always thinking of different ways. Like, how can we be involved with issues right here in the United States? How can we partner with different either nonprofits or women who are, usually it's women-owned organizations who are trying to make a difference. And we've partnered in various ways with non-for-profits over the last 10 years that we've been around. So I'm sorry, I'm just going on and on about all of it.
No, that was like such great information. Sam, did you have anything to add?
No, I just think it's super helpful. And I think providing, good insight for our travel CEOs who are on, who may have never heard of Threads. I think it's good to kind of hear more of the nitty gritty background that won't, as easily come to life when you're just reading about it online.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think one other reason that drew us to each other was the fact that you're based on these family values or these values, right? That you really build your business on. And that's something that we do as well. We're based on 7 family values. And truly it's not the mission on the wall. It's not just posted on the wall. Our founders really, Angela and Kara, just really every decision is made around those family values. So I'll just throw one out. And I know yours are very similar to this. I was looking at them today, but like one is dare to see new possibilities. And boy, have we had to do that over the last 2 years, right? We don't wait for our path to appear, but we're going to take action now and hope that the path will appear. And it's those family values that I feel like has kept us so strong even through this pandemic.
Yeah. How did the co-ops manage the pandemics in their countries? Like, where you were probably talking to them all the time because everyone was in such a different phase of the pandemic.
Yeah, that is, I mean, just the way that we navigated that with them. So Ange would try to give us updates as often as possible.
Yeah.
And so many times we were so surprised that they filled an order, right?
Yeah.
As they were surprised probably that we were continuing to fill orders.
Yeah.
You know, at first you're just like, how in the world are we going to do this? Truly, we were all in this together in terms of suffering from a pandemic across the world. And so, yes, at different levels. And, you know, like women in Guatemala, they had to figure out like, how can they get the materials that they need, and also be under, you know, in lockdown. Same in India, they could not come out of their houses, or they would be, you know, the police were everywhere making sure that they were staying in their homes. And, but it was just, we figured it out. Like we weren't able to launch twice a year as big as we normally launch, but we did smaller launchings, or smaller groups of launches as we got pieces in. And again, our founders just, they figured it out. I wish Ange could talk right now because she could tell you a little bit more about that. But I was just in constant amazement that we could continue to do this, sourcing across the globe. And yeah.
So I mean, it's such a great story that you think of all the different things that happened to fulfill an order. It's pretty amazing. It all worked still. The whole operation was functioning through a global pandemic like that. Really impressive.
Yes, I agree. And, you know, the other thing that we've created over the last year is just this idea of an elevation ecosystem. And I kind of saw this with you guys too, just where everyone that is involved in what we do is elevated for it, right? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to just share this with their friends, or people who want to make a purchase and maybe give an impactful gift to their client, or which I know that you mentioned, or they want to do this work. They want to gain an income by doing this impact driven work, whether it be for the pillow pride, right? That you can have the pride of going to sleep at night, or it's you want to feel good at something, which is one reason that I took this on, or you want to feel good about the impact of your dollar, which I've learned a ton about that over the last 3 years that I've been with Threads, and just how spending money on something that is handmade or is fair trade can really make a difference in, you know, 10 women's lives just through the purchase of a pair of earrings. So a lot of different ways to get involved, and a lot of ways to be elevated personally by being involved in something like this, or something like what you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, I think that was the perfect overview and explanation of Threads and why we've decided to have this collaboration and partnership with you. Does anyone have any questions or any comments you want to put into the chat box, or anything you want to say? I mean, if you have any further interest and want to learn more and have a one-on-one with Sam or I, just send us an email and we'll make sure to connect the dots with the Threads team for you.
And I do have a couple more pieces. If you wanted to stay on, I could show them to you live. It's just a little bit different than online. Or if you wanted to check stuff out online and through the link and wanted to tell me something you wanted to see, but I could just tell you a little bit about what I'm wearing. I pulled a few pieces just that I thought would be fun for warm weather climates. So I'm definitely going to wear it in Guatemala. But two of the new pieces from this season is this fun little bracelet. It's made in India, and it's like a, yeah. Do you have it, Kat? I couldn't remember.
I might have it.
Sam took it. By the way, we have a thank you from Anne, and then Nora's thanking you for the beautiful work and presentation, Andrea. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. But this little one, I was on a boat with some girlfriends, and they had similar bracelets, and they were all wearing them. Although theirs didn't have these little gold flecks. I don't know if you can see it, but we call it our Gold Rush bracelet. But it's stretchy. You can wear it, you can get it wet. It will be fine. I layer it when I'm not in the water with, our charm bracelets, which they're called the Kashi bracelets, also made in India, but I just like to layer them. They're super fun. And then these little guys, I feel like online, you can't really see how pretty they are, but I just think they're super fun for summer. They're really light on your ears. They're beaded all the way around in white. And then they have this gold on the inside. And those are also made in India.
I love those.
Those are just two fun little warm weather pieces that I love.
Yeah.
This is another piece that I feel like online, it's sort of hard to see the colors, but this one is made in Uganda of recycled paper. So strips of hand rolled little recycled paper. It has blues and greens and gray, super light again. And it can be worn a little longer and a little shorter. I just think that that's a really cool necklace.
Yeah, really pretty.
And then we have some Mother's Day bundles that are on sale right now. So check those out. And we'll be offering specials throughout the month for gift giving specifically. So we've got teachers' gifts coming up, graduation, Mother's Day. Just check it out.
Awesome. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Such a quiet bunch.
It's late in the day. I totally get it.
For you, Kat.
Whatever. Oh, and what's your favorite? The last one? I think the necklace she's saying is one of her favorites. But
this one, the Uganda one.
Yeah. I feel like that could actually go with so much, which is nice.
Yeah.
It literally goes with everything. It's definitely a neutral.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to show you more. Do you want to see more? I know we had an hour scheduled. Were you hoping for more of a presentation?
Laura's on the website. No, you show a couple more. No problem.
Okay, Laura, if you see something on the website that you want me to show live, I have all the pieces. So just let me know. But these are another favorite of mine. These are made in Ecuador out of seeds. And there's just three shades there. They're one of our most popular. Again, I like easy wear, so I like to just be able to slip them on my wrist. And our partners in Ecuador are known for making their pieces out of seeds. And it's amazing what they can do with seeds. So don't forget, before we get off, but please follow us on Instagram, Threads Worldwide. At Threads Worldwide. And so, you can keep up on all the good stuff, and you can follow us in Guatemala. So we're going to be going live a couple times while we're in Guatemala with our artisan partners. And so if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see us there. These are some fun bracelets. And I have to show you Guatemala because I'm going there These are, I just had a gathering on Friday night, and these were one of the most popular pieces. They're called the fringe earrings, and they're hand beaded by the women that I was talking about in Guatemala. Santos, thank you, Anne. Thanks for following us. Santos is a woman who, when we started Threads, she asked, well, when they started the co-op over there, they had asked several women if they wanted to lead the co-op. And multiple women said no because they were afraid. They were afraid of their husbands, and their husbands would not allow it, which, you know, in some ways makes you a little bit like, kind of mad, but really it's just the way it is over there. And so Santos went to her husband and asked, and he said no. She went back to him 3 different times. And the third time when he said no, she said, then I need money for shoes and medicine for our kids today. Like, when I say I need it that day. Can you do that? And he said no. And she said, okay, then I'm going to do this. And she tells the story of the sort of getting trained off the radar, and so that she could then prove what could be possible for them by her working. And so she has now built her dream home, and she has a smokeless stove in her house, which they used to cook on an open fire in the same room that they sleep in. I mean, think about like how you feel when you camp, right? And you just cook a dinner over an open fire in the outside, and you go to your tent and it's like, ugh, right? So they've installed hip height smokeless stoves where the smoke gets pushed out of the house. And so that's so much better for their health. When Ange was there, I want to say 5 years ago, or maybe more, they painted the inside of the home, and the temperature went down by, I think she said like at least 10 degrees just from painting, because the soot was so built up on the inside of the home that it created this heat, right? So just from a pair of earrings, that's what you're creating. Santos now leads the women of co-op, or the co-op of women. And I can't remember how many women, but it's at least 15 women that are in that co-op making the jewelry. And I'll get to meet Santos and probably see her home when I'm there next Thursday. So that's the fringe earrings. They go with what I have on too. And I love them.
I like them. I've worn them.
Yeah, they're so fun.
You'll please have to share pictures with us when you go on this trip.
Oh, yes. We'll be sharing live and pictures for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll show you one more that doesn't show well on the online as well. But these are a pair of hoops, and I just love my hoops, right? But for one, the shape is different, but they're made in Vietnam with that bullhorn that I had described. And I don't know if you can see it, but no 2 pairs are exactly the same, because this side is made in bullhorn, both sides, and then it's wrapped in brass. So they're really unusual, and just people comment on them all the time, and I love being able to tell them what they're made out of.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, the difference it's making in Vietnam. So
I like that they're thick. They really make a statement. I love those. And I like that they're a different shape, not like a traditional hoop.
Right.
Agreed. And what's really cool is, as a socialpreneur, you can be a part of the design. So I earned the design club this year, and I helped to design these. So I love telling my friends that too, like, oh, I helped to design these, you know, even though they were made in Vietnam. So I was really happy how they turned out.
That's cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Laura, did you see anything online that you want me to show?
Let's see if she chats. They followed you on Instagram though, which is great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe she's busy shopping. But thank you so much for showing us all of this. I think it gave everyone inspired to now go online and see what all the jewelry is. And I think to read all the stories is my favorite part. I feel like it makes me want the jewelry, want to buy it 10,000 times more just with the stories I think are so incredible. And these women deserve to be on like a huge pedestal. So Sam, do you have any comments before we close this out?
No, I don't think so. I think you wrapped it up nicely. If anyone has, questions afterwards that you didn't think of here, please just email Kat and I, and we can pass them along to the Threads team. Laura just said, Andrea, that she loves the Timeless and Nurture bundle.
Yes, so those are our Mother's Day bundles. So they're 40% off when you buy those pieces together. So this is the necklace in the Timeless bundle. It is designed in India, and it's called our Divine Necklace. And then our charm bracelet that I was showing you, I have stacked here, that you can add a charm to, and our charms say words that go with our family values, like we don't ship to Canada. I'm sorry, Elsa, we don't. We are hoping to, and I think we were talking about it pre-pandemic, and then I think it's slid down the list because we were fighting fires of the pandemic.
The same thing in the UK, Andrea. Laura just asked that too.
We don't, just in the United States right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Timeless comes with this silver charm bracelet. So I'm showing it in gold, but it comes with the silver one. So it goes with the Divine Necklace. And if you add a pair of earrings onto that, like the ones that Kat has on right now would go great with this bundle. Then if you spend 100 or more, you get free shipping. So it's like a $6 discount there. And then the other bundle, the Nurture bundle, is this necklace, which I just love the little pearl detail here. And then these earrings, which are really cool. These earrings are made in Ecuador. And what's cool about them is you can wear either piece by itself. So you can wear just this piece by itself, or you can wear these together.
Yeah.
So they're really versatile, which you'll find with a lot of our earrings. You can wear them multiple ways. And then these little seaside bracelets, which are also made in Ecuador. And that's what they look like all together.
I have those. I love the colors.
Yeah, they're super fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for looking at those. And again, the link is on your website, which you posted in the chat. So yeah.
Yep. All right. Perfect. Any other final questions before we go?
I think they're,
Don't like it.
yeah. But thank you all so much for joining. Andrea,
Thank you.
Angela, thank you so much for your time. Super excited to get this out to the rest of our community. It'll be living in our CRM, and we look forward to work together. Thank you all for joining again.
Thank you both, and thank you all for being here. And I'm excited to see where this can go for all of us.
Great. All right,
Awesome.
guys, have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.